Hey now, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Virginia. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing all the tea concerning breastfeeding. Whether you plan to do so traditionally, bringing baby to boob, or if you choose to exclusively pump or a mixture of the two, I got you covered today, sis. So if you are interested and you want to learn more about what you need, some tips and tricks that you can use along the way concerning breastfeeding, stay tuned. If you didn't know, I am a mom of two amazing little boys. My eldest is 3 and my baby is 4 months. He just made 4 months a couple of days ago, actually. So we are getting in the groove of things. And so I have been breastfeeding my baby, and I did breastfeed the oldest as well. Now the journey for both was very, very different, let me tell you. But I still think that I have quite a bit of information that I've already been sharing with mamas all around, which led me to actually make this video. I wanted to make a video that could help other moms out there that might have the same questions that I had, or the same questions that moms ask me all the time. Now, I am currently exclusively pumping. I did do baby to breast with both of my babies, and this time around, like I said, I just decided I wanted to try something different. I wanted to see if something else would work a little bit better for me and my lifestyle, and exclusively pumping has been it. And so let me go ahead and pause right there and let you know and set a disclaimer. This is not a video that's going to tell you to do it one way or the other. Whether you want to breastfeed or formula feed, it doesn't matter. Fed is best, okay? As long as that baby is fed and that baby is loved well, that baby is clean, baby is happy, and I'm sure mama is happy, right? So don't feel the pressure to do either or. I know for me, I didn't feel the pressure to keep doing baby to boob when I knew that it was stressing me out. So I changed to exclusively pumping. So I said all that to say, do you. I know this is all about breastfeeding, but I also have a couple of things in here for my formula feeding mamas as well. Again, if you haven't already heard me say on my channel in another video that convenience is king. I'm all about making everything easier and more convenient for me on these journeys, because when it comes to babies, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of do this, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm just like, look, what's going to be the easiest thing for me? Because if you're anything like me and you're always looking for the convenient thing, the best thing, then this is the video for you. So let's actually hop right on into the video. I've rambled on long enough. All right, so one of the first things for baby specifically that I definitely highly recommend and want to share are these vitamin D baby drops. They are amazing. If you're in a place like me where it's a cold climate, you're probably not getting your baby outside in the sun a lot to get that vitamin D that they need. So having these drops on hand is actually perfect. And you can just literally drop 1 drop in their milk a day. 1 bottle, 1 drop a day, and they get their serving of vitamin D, which is essential to bone growth and their health overall. So I definitely recommend that you have this on deck. Okay, and next up on our list of essentials is a nursing bra. You already know this, but this nursing bra actually I found on Amazon and I love it. It is one of my favorite ones because it's super comfortable, it's super light, it's not super thick like some of them tend to be, but I love the versatility of it and how you can have this, it has this like peekaboo hole right in here where you can slide your pump parts in there if you need to, or you can also just unlatch it like so and breastfeed like this. So this is one of my favorites. Another nursing bra that I really like is from the Auden brand in Target, and it's this one here. I really like this one because it resembles a normal bra, and you still have the option to nurse baby to boob, or you can also pump with this bra with the little strap that's on the inside if you know how to use that. But these are 2 of my favorite nursing bras. I'll actually link another one that I don't have to show you below in the description box, so make sure that you check all of them out. Another breastfeeding essential is, of course, the boppy pillow. You already know, everybody mentions it, and I do love it. I don't use it all the time, but I do, especially in the early days when you're kind of getting used to nursing and all of that. This can definitely come in handy because it helps you to prop the baby up, makes it a little bit more comfortable for you on your back and all of those things. So I definitely recommend having a boppy pillow on hand if you plan on nursing. One of the things that mama, you definitely need is a water bottle. You need to be making sure that you are hydrated, hydrated, hydrated. I can't tell you or stress enough how important it is to make sure that you are intaking enough water and nutrients. That means your food intake. You might not feel like eating, you might not feel like you're hungry, but when I tell you, you are burning at least 500 calories every time you breastfeed your baby, which means that is taking from you. So you need to make sure that you are replenishing times 2. Okay, because you're feeding you and your baby. You don't need to eat for 2. Let's take that away. Even when pregnant, like, stop it. You don't need to eat for 2, but you need to make sure that you are eating enough to make sure that you and your baby are healthy. And that water and that food is what will really make your supply go up. It will make your supply stay. It will make your supply do everything that it needs to do. I noticed the biggest shifts when I wasn't drinking enough water and when I wasn't eating enough food. Like clockwork, my supply would drop. But the moment I started downing that water intentionally and making sure that I ate enough and ate well, my supply came right back to life. It was back like it never left, okay? Your supply is made up of mostly water. Let me tell you, if you didn't know, it is. It's mostly water. So if it's mostly water, just like our bodies need water because we're 70% water, you need to make sure that you're putting enough water in your body, not only to sustain you, but your breast milk. That's it. If you make sure that you're eating and you're drinking well, you'll be fine. All right, the next thing that I believe is an essential, which you probably already know I'm going to say, is a pump. I chose the Spectra S2 and I love it. I know you've heard of probably Medela, Spectra, all these different pumps. This is the one that I chose to go with this go round, and it has been absolutely amazing. The suction on it is amazing. It is a medical grade pump, and with this one, it doesn't. So you have the choice between the S1 and the S2. The only difference is the S1 comes with a battery, so you can kind of move around a little bit more. You can charge it, and the S2 does not. But you can also buy and purchase with just an external battery that you can hook up to it and be able to carry it around the house if you want to. I'm really not a person that was looking to carry around this big old pump at all because you have wires and stuff hanging from you anyway, so I'm not sure how comfortable or realistic that is, but it's an option, and this is the one that I chose. All right, the next thing on my list are these. These are the Willow hand-free pumps. They are clutch, let me tell you, okay? Now, I will say that they are a pretty penny, but I did just see that they dropped a new version of them, a very nice version, if I must say, and they are a little bit cheaper, so definitely make sure that you go check those out if you get a chance, if this is something that interests you. But for me, having this, let me tell you, it was life-changing, it was game-changing, and I was mad that I didn't have it earlier. It's like, dang, I should have got these the first time around with my son. But these really came in handy because I do have a toddler and he does need me, or I do need to be able to get up and go or move around, but I also need to pump, preferably on a schedule, and being able to have these allowed me the freedom to be able to pump and go, pump and move, pump and wash dishes, pump and do laundry, pump and play, whatever it was that I needed to do, I was able to do because I had this portable pump. They just slide right on in, they can be held right within your bra, and it just made life so much easier. I do believe a portable pump or a hands-free pump in general is the plug. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom like me or you're going back to work, I just think that it's super easy and super helpful, super discreet for the most part. I will say the Willow is not that discreet, at least not on me. I feel like it's obvious that I have these things in because they take me from point A to Z really fast. But I still think there is some discretion when it comes to them because people might not know that you're pumping. They may just think that you're a little bit big-breasted, and that's okay. Right? But you still get the job done. You can go ahead and slide them in, get your job done, step in a meeting if you want to. If you're on a call or you're on Zoom, nobody even knows that you're pumping. Like, how cool is that? All right, another essential that I have for you are these. These are the Lavy breast massagers, and when I tell you they are amazing, and they really help you when it comes time to pump. So these actually have about 3 settings if I'm not mistaken. So they provide warmth, they provide vibration, they provide movement to help your milk to go ahead and loosen up and to promote letdown. Letdown is what happens when your milk ducts basically open up and the milk starts to really flow, which is what you really want to catch. And so these are great because again, they just slide right on underneath your bra and they can sit there while you pump. They're really good to use while you pump, before you pump if you want to. You have pretty much different options. They also have a pulse setting where it goes do 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 do. I never really used that, but I like the constant vibration and the warmth for sure. And they help you to actually get all of the milk out while you are pumping. So I found them very helpful, and I definitely recommend that you have something like that in your breastfeeding toolkit per se. Another option, if you don't want to go that route, you could also just get these Lancino warmers. You can actually put them in the microwave and then just pop them right on before you start breastfeeding or while you're breastfeeding as well, because again, they kind of do the same thing, of course, without the vibration because they are just a hot pack, but you put them on maybe a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes before you want to start pumping. Again, that will do the same thing as the massagers by loosening up the milk, warming it up, and promoting letdown. I kind of alternated between the two. It just depended on what time of day it was, what I felt like doing, what I didn't, whether my warmers were charged or not. But having them both gave me an option, which I really enjoyed having. All right, next up is this Medela cooler. This is really good to have just when you're on the go because you can open it up. I'll open it up for you guys. When you open it up, there are some bottles in there for you, obviously, where you can actually store your breast milk while you are on the go. And it comes with a little blue ice pack that can go inside to keep your milk cold. It's currently in the freezer right now, so I don't have it, but it comes with it. So if you get the set or if you order this, don't worry, it's already going to be included. However, I found it very helpful, especially in the earlier times. And like I said, with the pumping, if you're pumping on the go, this is really good to just have on deck to store your milk and make sure that it is staying at the temperature that it's supposed to be so that it is sustainable and it is able to be used for your baby. One of the things that I definitely loved having, and I'm so glad that I found them, shared them with so many mamas, are these bottles right here. These are 9-ounce bottles by Mom that I found on Amazon. Actually, they hold 9 ounces of milk. Now, when you're pumping and you're pumping on a schedule, that will include middle of the night pumps, and having somewhere to store that milk is going to be essential because a lot of times, if you don't know, the most prime time and optimal time to get milk is going to be in those wee hours of the morning. That's when you're going to produce the most. So therefore, if you're anything like me, I would have a pump session and fill this thing up with one pump session. I loved having these because they just allow you to store more milk at a time. And I have a process for my milk storage, which I'll get to in a little bit. These have been very essential to my journey because like I showed you the other Medela bottles, a lot of times when you look up storage bottles for milk, they're just really small and they really typically hold no more than like 5 ounces or so. And I needed something bigger to condense space in my refrigerator so I'm not just hogging up the left side of the refrigerator with all these little bitty bottles. I didn't want that. So like I said, convenience is king. These are convenient and amazing to have. Another one of my essentials are bottles. If you are not just exclusively traditionally breastfeeding baby to breast, bottles are essential for you to have. We love these Komotomo bottles. They were great for my first, and for my second, they have been just as great. Another clutch item to have in your breastfeeding toolkit is a hand pump. I don't have one physically here to show you because it's getting cleaned right now, but hand pumps come in handy in those beginning stages, those beginning days when your milk is first coming in, is when you get engorged. It is not fun. You may know that your milk is coming in, but you get on the pump and nothing's coming out. It just may not be ready to come out yet. But having a hand pump may help you to get a little bit out at a time so that you can go ahead and start storing it or go ahead and put it in a bottle for baby or whatever you want to do depending on whatever your journey is starting out as. But I found having a hand pump, a manual pump, very essential for the beginning stages, but also throughout the journey. There are times, I'm gonna let you know if you don't know, where you may experience some clogged ducts. You may experience other bouts of engorgement. I can almost bet money. Sometimes your pump may not get the clogs out. You may get in the shower and do all the things to get a clog out. And it just, for me, I found that sometimes that's just not enough. But with the manual pump, I can control everything. I can control trying to get the onset of letdown. I can control how much milk I'm squeezing out. I can control the pattern, the consistency. I can control everything. And so they were very, very helpful in my journey for times like that, to be able to pull out clogs, to be able to get those things out. Like, it's not fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are moments where it is not fun and it can hurt. But having a manual pump made things a whole lot easier. All right, next up on my essentials are Hakkas. These things you need, okay? When I tell you these things were clutch, especially in the beginning when I was doing traditional breastfeeding, baby to boob, these things were amazing to have. Now, if you recognize this one, this is the original Hakka that came out that kind of just goes on. You suction it to your breast, and as you are breastfeeding, the other side, if you don't know or you have not started your journey yet, it will leak milk. But no milk is wasted over here. We don't play those games. It's a no-no. So you slide that Hakka on while you're breastfeeding your baby, or even if you're pumping, and it will catch that milk that is let down while you're breastfeeding your baby on the other side. So this is great. However, I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's not always the easiest to use. It can be kind of annoying because you got this thing on you, but then you got this baby, and as that baby gets bigger, that baby wants to kick, that baby wants to move around, that baby wants to slide, all the things. You may make a quick sudden movement and this thing can bloop, pop right on off. So then milk is wasted, and no. But Hakka came out with this thing called the Ladybug. This is the other version of this same thing. It does the exact same thing. They come in two different amounts so that it can hold. I think one is a 2 ounce and this one that I have is 5 ounces, which I love. And so basically it's the same concept. You put it on, you suction it, you squeeze it, you suction it to your boob, and it catches all the letdown that you have during that session or during that time. But the cool thing about it is that it slides right inside your bra. So you know how you have your nursing bra and you pop it open and let that thing hang for that baby, right? Well, the other side, you don't have to worry about being just all out there. You could just slide your Hakka in, slide that bad boy in, and it catches all the milk that is let down on the other side without the risk of it falling off or dropping or you wasting milk. Like, could they have created a better thing? I don't think so, but that's exactly why I'm sharing it, and I'm suggesting that you get it. Another thing that you might want to have on deck, especially early on in your breastfeeding journey, are Nipple Balm and nipple shields. Okay, these things are going to be game changing for you. Nipple Balm, I suggest you start using it even before your baby gets here, just to get your nipples used to being manipulated, but also get them nice and moisturized. If your nipples are not moisturized well, what will happen is that your nipples, because they're not used to being stimulated in the way that a baby does, or being sucked on, the wetness, the dryness, the whole switch and the tug and the pull, because they're not used to that on a regular basis, they will crack, they will bleed. Now, I did not experience that either time, but I can bet money it is because I kept my nipples moisturized. In between time, in the meantime, they were always lathered up, lathered down, lathered all around. So you want to make sure that you do that and that you have something that you can moisturize your nipples with every time that you feed your baby, before you feed your baby, after you feed your baby, throughout the day. You just want to make sure that they are good, okay? I don't want you to have any cracked and bruised and bleeding nipples. Now, it may be a little uncomfortable and it may hurt from time to time. That is a part of it. It will go away. It will fade. You just got to hold on, okay? Like I said, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. And I encourage you to hold on. Again, that is not to say that if you notice that it's something that needs to change or that you need to stop or you really, really just want to, stop. Do not keep doing something that does not bring you joy. Do not do something that is really taking away from your mental health or your emotional health, okay? So just remember that. Now, having the nipple shields will also be something that helps you. I did not use them this time around, but I did use them the first time around. And so it's really a preferential thing. It was a little weird for me, but I know some people where it worked wonders, especially since your nipples are so tender and since you're beginning your breastfeeding journey. A lot of times when you're using nipple shields, it helps the baby to latch a little better, or it helps to make it a little easier on you as a mama and your nipples for this shocking situation and things that are happening, right? So these will help protect your nipples a little bit more and also help baby to latch as well. So that's something that I would say to keep in your breastfeeding toolkit. Now I want to share a couple of things that I believe is essential for any new mom with any age baby that is still drinking milk, whether formula or breast milk. These things are game changers, okay? Number one, that thing would be a Dr. Brown's pitcher. This thing right here, oh baby, life-changing, game-changing. So if you have not heard the term pitcher method, listen up. The pitcher method is amazing whether you are breastfeeding or you are formula feeding your baby. And the Dr. Brown's pitcher makes it all possible, makes it all easy. When it comes to breastfeeding, one of the things that I have done that I think has changed the game for me this time around is to store my milk in a pitcher from the day. So I will pump throughout the day, all day, and dump my milk into this pitcher. Now, I could either use my pump milk that I'm making throughout the day and just make bottles straight from it, which is not gonna allow me to really see how much I'm pumping, right? However, that is an option. But what I do is I like to pump throughout the day, all day, let my milk build as it may. Now, if I need to drop into it, then I will, obviously. But usually what I would do is be able to make my bottles for the next day with the milk that I pump. So for example, today is Friday. Say I'm pumping all day, I pump on a given day, I might pump anywhere from 28 to 32 ounces of milk. That sounds like a lot. It is, but follow me. Say I get to the end of the night and I want to make my bottles for the babies for tomorrow. I know he might drink 5 or 6 bottles throughout the entire day. I can go ahead and pour those bottles from the milk that I made. Whatever is left over goes toward my stash. Now, let me pause while we're talking about a stash. Having a milk stash is not mandatory. Let's do away with this whole idea that
if you're breastfeeding, you have to have a freezer stash and it has to be huge
and all these things. No, you don't. No, it doesn't. Unless you have a need for a freezer stash, it is not a written rule that you just have to have one. So I just want to put you mamas at ease when it comes to thinking about this breastfeeding thing and the whole stash thing. Like, if you don't need it, don't stress yourself out about it. Even if you do not stress yourself out about it. Just get strategic and try to plan. So back to the pitcher method. Like I said, I could pump all day, make my bottles for tomorrow, because another thing that you should know, breast milk can last in the refrigerator for 4 days. Okay? So if you haven't stored away that milk or that baby hasn't used it, it's okay. Leave it in the fridge. It's okay. You can make a bottle from it for the next day. It is fine. Formula only lasts in the refrigerator for 24 hours. So that is something to keep in mind as well. You can't necessarily do the same thing with formula per se, but you can do something a little similar. With formula, what I used to do when I transitioned from breastfeeding to formula with my first son, I would batch make his formula. So I put as much water as I need, put as much formula as I need, shake that thing up or mix it with the mixer that's included in the Dr. Brown's pitcher, which is again why I love it and I recommend it. And I would slide that thing in the refrigerator and pour his bottles as we went throughout the day. And it was easy, right? Again, convenience is king. I'm all about ease. And this pitcher makes everything easy, whether you are breastfeeding or formula feeding your baby. Trust me when I tell you, you need it. Okay? So definitely be sure to check that out. If you don't have a pitcher, get you one. Again, even though I have the storage bottles, I didn't want to use those all throughout the day. It was easier for me to use that at nighttime because I'm away from the refrigerator. I'm upstairs in my room. I do have the next thing that I'm going to talk about. The next thing on the list is a mini fridge. If you're living in a 2-story home like I am, then having a fridge in your room is a major key. It's a plug. I don't even know how to explain it. When I tell you it's clutch, having this little mini freezer in my room changed the game. It literally changed the game because I can make my bottles for throughout the night and I can store them in the mini fridge. But also when I pump, that milk that goes in that storage bottle that I showed you, that 9-ounce bottle, guess what? I don't have to come downstairs for that either. I can just slide it right on in the mini fridge and it will be cool for the night. And then once we wake up in the morning, for good for the morning, I'll say, then I can just take it downstairs and put it in the refrigerator or pour it in the pitcher to start the day. Like, how easy is that? Like, that's, Listen, when I started doing that, when I say, I was like, why was I not doing this any sooner? Why are people not talking about this? Like this, you need a mini fridge. You just need one. Trust me. Speaking of storage, something else that you need when it comes to breastfeeding are storage bags. These Lancino storage bags are everything. They are amazing. They're the best breastfeeding bags that I have used thus far, and I recommend them to everybody. Even if you don't use the Lancino breast milk bags, get you some milk bags that are able to lay flat. It's going to be essential and crucial when it comes to storing your milk. I'll go ahead and take one out and show you guys what I mean. All right, so this is what the bag looks like. It's pretty standard, pretty cool. This is kind of what every breast milk bag looks like. Now, it only holds, well, I'll say that it's only supposed to hold 6 ounces of milk. That is the recommended amount, to not go over 6 ounces of milk when you put it in here. When I store my milk, I pour my milk in. Once I was able to, and I had enough milk beyond that first couple of weeks, I like to store 5 to 6 ounces at a time, because again, remember, I'm not storing my milk until the end of the night. So I'm able to just pour from my pitcher whatever is left over from the bottles that I made for the next day. So I pour in, and if I have enough, I like to store 5 or 6 ounces at a time, because the less bags, the better. And yeah, I didn't want 50 million little bitty bags in my freezer, but that's my preference. Some people prefer to store only 3 ounces at a time, and that's fine. So I will pour the milk in. Then I want to lay it flat, work the bubbles out, and then close it. When I go to put it in the freezer, I lay it flat. This will keep and make sure that the milk stays not only in place, but that it freezes flat, which gives you more room in your freezer. Now, once I ran out of room with all these bags that are laying like this, then I would turn them like this or like this, depends on your freezer and what kind of space and movement that you have and kind of options, but you can kind of stand them up. You get the gist. You go from laying flat, and then when you stand them up, obviously it makes more room to be able to store more milk. So these I recommend having for sure. Another thing that I definitely recommend that you have are these Medela wipes. These things right here, clutch. Again, in the middle of the night feedings, when you are feeding baby, you use your bottle warmer or you're pumping. These you can use to clean out your pump parts, sanitize all of that, clean out your bottle warmer. And when I tell you, it just makes all the difference. Like it just makes life easier. So I'm not going and having to wash everything every 5 seconds, and I can know that everything is still clean, everything is still sanitary for my next use until I go downstairs in the morning to be able to properly wash everything thoroughly. These are clutch if you are on the go, if you are a working mama, if you are a pumping mama. These are clutch to have in your car, at work, in your office, wherever. Just keep them around because you never know when you need to clean something out on the go. They're amazing to have. All right, now one of the last things that I definitely recommend that you have, again, for convenience, a portable bottle warmer. This portable bottle warmer is amazing. It is by Baby's Brew. I came across this, I want to say on Instagram or something like that, and I was like, that kind of looks cool, so let me check it out and try it out or something, I don't know. So I did, and when I tell you it was clutch, it has been a game changer for me. It is a portable bottle warmer, so it's meant for you to go on the go. It has like a USB charge right here, and the cord is charging, right? Or it's plugged up rather. So, but I use this in the middle of the night. I don't have to leave the house too often, so I'm not really taking it, or if I do, I try to go between feedings. But if I do leave the house, or even if I don't, this stays upstairs with me on my mom cart. Why? Because baby wakes up in the middle of the night, it's gonna need a bottle. Again, who's going downstairs? Not me. This thing comes in handy, and it's so simple, and it just is amazing. Now, you may have to get an adapter depending on what bottle you use, but the adapters are cheap. This is not really that expensive, and it's super duper easy to clean, which I love. It's not big and bulky like your traditional bottle warmers, and it doesn't come with all the issues of not being sure that you cleaned it well enough or mold to me, you just never get those things really clean. So this right here has been a game changer. It's small, it's easy to conceal, and like I said, it just makes everything so much easier in the middle of the night when you are pumping or when you have to wake up to feed baby or warm up a bottle. All right, now let's recap. We talked about all the things that you need, baby needs for your breastfeeding journey. So I hope that you feel like you are a little bit better prepared to go on your journey or even to continue your journey. Again, I'm a mama of two, so I've been around this thing a couple of times. I have lots of friends that are breastfeeding or that have children. And so we talk about these things all the time. And these are things that we have found work for most of us. So again, if you are about to embark on your breastfeeding journey, I encourage you on that journey. I'm excited for you. And if you have any questions concerning breastfeeding or motherhood or babies or whatever, drop them in the comments below. I would love to chat more about these things with you because I know it sometimes feel like you're alone when you're on a breastfeeding journey, especially if you didn't grow up knowing much about it like I did. Your body is so in tune with your child. So don't be worried about the milk that you're going to produce. Like, don't be worried about any of those things. Your body and you will do everything that it knows to do. Your baby will be good. You will be good. Trust yourself. Trust the journey. Have grace with yourself along the journey and have grace with baby along the journey because it will be just that, a journey. It's not going to be just smooth. There may be some bumps. There may be some bruises along the way, but you can do this. You can do this. And hopefully I've helped you to be more confident in that and to feel like you can and to know what you need to go ahead and be successful along the journey. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about your mindset. I talked about it earlier, how we can kind of have this idea that there are certain things that must happen or that you must have or that you must do when you're breastfeeding or feeding your baby or whatever have you. Your mind, your state of sanity, your emotional health, your mental health comes first above everything that I've mentioned, above every part of the journey. If you are not good, baby won't be good. Do not overstress this journey. Do what you know to do. Do what you feel is best for you, and that will be best for baby because you're the best mama that your baby can have. You. So that baby deserves to have you in your best form, as good as it can be, because you will go through ups and downs just in general becoming a mom, the transition, whether you're a mom of one or you're becoming a mom of multiples, there will be some sort of transition. But your mental state and your emotional state, your health is what will determine how you get through those changes. I want to encourage you. I want to empower you in this time just to let you know that you are not by yourself. What you're going through is, for the most part, normal. If there's something that's not normal, definitely make sure that you talk to somebody, that you see your doctor, do whatever you need to do, make whatever necessary changes. If that means to stop breastfeeding and switch to formula, stop breastfeeding and switch to formula. But like I said, on a lighter note, if you're going to journey down the route of breastfeeding or again, even formula feeding, these are some of my essentials that I truly have benefited from. I love it if you would leave any other items that I might have missed or that I didn't share that you have or that you suggest for any new moms down in the comments below. And while you're at it, go ahead and leave a word of encouragement for them as well. We all need it. We all can benefit from it. And I'm sure that we all will be happy to see some words of encouragement along our journey. And also be sure to share this with a new mom that you know or save it for yourself for when you are on your journey or in preparation for whatever place in life that you may be to refer back to. Again, everything will be linked below in the description box. If you have any comments or questions, please be sure to leave them below. And until next time, I'll see you later.